Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a very new setup for me. I'm walking with a Casey Neistat looking ass tripod setup, and I woke up I didn't wake up, I honestly stayed up all night, but I'm here at like 5 a.m. Uh, Mainly in hopes that no one else is here and to catch a nice sunrise. But today I wanted to talk about a topic that is very close to home to me. I brought up in my last video, if you guys didn't know, I'm an only child. It kind of relates to this, but it's mainly if you were like me and I guess a self-proclaimed lone wolf, if you will. All right, very self-reliant as a person, whether you're just built like that, whether life experiences kind of made you like that. But the main topic of this video is basically something I realized in the beginning of this month, pretty recently. And I think it's honestly a common mistake across a lot of, lone wolves, if you will. And I'm running, I'm low-key running out of breath. I need to stop for a minute and just chill and talk. So basically that one flaw is that we kind of cut people out. We don't really maybe trust people as much as we should. Maybe instead of having an optimistic view on people and their intentions, we kind of automatically question, what are they gonna do that's gonna hurt us, anything like that. Which, can be a good thing. It's always good to look out for, like, if you feel like someone has bad intentions and stuff, like, it's good to keep that, keep that in the back of your mind and stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to put that on everybody, and you don't want to become so closed off to the point where you don't trust anyone. You cut people out, including the people that may actually care, but you don't really see it because maybe you have this past experience that has told you that you can't really trust people. So it's kind of made you a lone wolf, and that's kind of what happened to me. So I'm gonna talk about my backstory a little bit with that. So essentially what happened was, I'm gonna rewind to end of 2022. All right, if you guys don't know, I produce music, I make music and stuff. That whole year I was honestly making pretty shitty music. I was capable of making some good shit. I cared about numbers and shit. I rushed shit out. It was not good music. But essentially there came a point in time where it was the end of the year and I had this song I wanted to release and stuff. It was terrible. It's called 95, and I put it out, but I wanted it to get more views. So what I did is I went on Fiverr and I got it, I paid to put it on this channel that would guarantee me, some pretty good views. And me being the dumbest that I was, not seeing how terrible the song was, I posted the song. Well, I posted the song and then they reposted it and stuff. And to my surprise, the repost actually got a good bit of views. It wasn't like crazy. But I feel like if it kept going, it would have hit 100,000 eventually, which is not good because it was terrible. So what happened was, I remember I was like, okay, on the surface level, I was like, this is great, a lot of views, but I didn't check the comments yet, right? One night I got curious, I decided to check the comments. Dear Lord, this freaking killed my self-esteem. This really, it honestly initiated in me to prove people wrong and be like, okay, I know I can do better. So I'm gonna just say the comments were just insane. Of course, a lot of them making fun of me and stuff. There's a video that went along with the song and stuff. So and funny enough, the fucking video was reposted on a channel that has a lot of Tupac's old stuff. So a lot of people were like, was this freaking this white kid trying to do some weird alternative R&B that's just not work. It was just a mess, right? Essentially I checked the comments. There's just a bunch of just comments just saying some of them were really personally mean, saying that I'll never do anything good in my entire life, saying just really terrible shit. And this broke me at the end of 2022, and at the end of beginning of 2023, following that's when I started Getaway Stranger, my current music project. But I didn't post music on for a while. It was just graphic design for a minute, because I just wanted to take time to, I guess, perfect my craft, if you will. I posted some songs, but I took them down because they were demos and just me trying to find my sound and whatnot. Safe to say, everything I posted Getaway Stranger, I'm proud of, and it's just a constant improvement. I love it. I'm proud of it, and I'm over the freaking the old shit I just talked about. But my point is that happened, and I completely that was step one. All right, is what kicked off 2023 being a terrible year for me. So that happened. Along with that, 2023 was just filled with a lot of death. Some of you guys may be familiar with the breakup and all that that I've talked about before. But I guess like rewind a little bit. So that happened. So I was already like kind of bitter and just like kind of honestly low key just hateful of people, of everyone. I that flipped a switch in my brain to just have a really negative view on the world and just made me think that everyone hates me. So I really became super closed off. And then midway through 2022, a situation happened. I'm gonna explain this as best as I can because it's very detailed, it's weird, it's lengthy. But what happened was, it was like at the time I was with my ex, right? We were at her dad's birthday dinner, right? And something happened between me and her. Or it was just simple couple stuff. Like it was just a bad day for that. All right. But it ended with me just honestly walking out the house because I just needed a break, to just leave and stuff. So I left and all that is was we made up, like a week later and stuff. It was fine, right? But turns out what happened was that her dad. So essentially, they had like security cameras, security like audio recording, but it was like 32-bit audio, like really even lower. It was like some terrible audio quality, right? But they have like sound recording and stuff. And what happened was, her dad took this video slash audio clip of me just saying bye or something like really simple. But the thing is that the audio quality was so low, and this happened like a week after that all went down when me and my ex like made up and stuff. But she was like, "Hey, you might want to see this. My dad thinks you told him to go kill himself." Or I don't know if I honestly, her dad was such a narcissist that he probably knew I didn't actually say that and was just telling everyone that I said I told him to go kill himself in this video slash audio clip. That's what happened, right? So he took this video clip of just me like saying bye. I would never say some shit like go kill yourself to anyone. I'm not that kind of guy. Even when I'm at my lowest, I'm never gonna say that type of shit to anyone. But so yeah, her dad was essentially going around with this low ass quality video slash audio bit of me just like leaving the house and saying bye, and was telling people that I said to him, go kill yourself, which I never would say to anyone. But essentially this rumor got spread, to her family, and God, who knows, actually believed it or not, I don't know, and I don't care at this point in time. But this added to the fact that like, okay, what the fuck? I feel like her family just kind of turned on me for no reason. I was already bitter from this shit earlier, from like end of 2022. I just felt it just reinforced even more to me that the world was against me. Midway through that year, I'd already experienced, death, with family and, people I looked up to. And just around in that whole year, death of, a classmate, passed away that I went to school with, and just, so essentially, then come time, end of the year, her dad apparently wanted to make things right, somehow. He just wanted to have me over for dinner or something. I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, like, you can't just expect me to all of a sudden, like, he expected, like, everything to just be cool, and for me, just, like, forget about that. I was like, no, I said to my ex, I was like, at the time we were together, I was like, I want to talk to your dad, and I want to, like, this isn't right, that he's just spreading the shit that isn't true, like, this isn't right. So what happened was, essentially, in a nutshell, me and her dad got in this huge fight because I confronted him about, I was very honest, I was like, hey, you've been spreading these things about me and that's not okay, and turned into this huge thing. That fight happened. Shortly after, my ex broke up with me, no warning. And and then shortly after that, like not too long after, I had to watch my cat pass away. One of my cats passed away not too long after that. So essentially that left me at the end of 2023 feeling, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, this mentality had lasted from end of 2022, like December 2022, all the way up until I'd say very recently, like starting of July this year. My mentality was that all people are naturally evil. I don't like anyone. I don't trust anyone. If someone is nice to me and stuff, they're faking it, and they obviously have evil intentions behind them. And no one, if someone says they care, they actually don't. I have no one, and I hate everyone. I'm brutally honest, that's what my mentality has been on under the surface, right? And I kind of just realized this lately. So my point is that if you're a lone wolf as well, kind of like I am, in the way I've just kind of been my entire life, but really in the last year, everything I discussed, it kind of, it intensified to the point where I just cut people out. A big mistake you might make is you may not trust people, and you may isolate yourself, and you may cut people off, which can butcher potential connections. It can butcher potential friends, potential relationships, the people who do actually care about you, but you don't see it because you're locked into this mindset of fuck everyone. And and I get it, because it may feel justified as to why you think that way. I felt justified for the longest time, as far as having that mentality, because I had all these bad experiences happen to me in 2023. And my mentality just became, well, yeah, of course, I have every right to hate everyone and everything when that happens to me. But truth is that if I'm gonna be that way for the rest of my life, dude, that's a toxic fucking mentality. And that's really gonna harm, I realized it when I realized how many people did care about me and have been caring about me, but I just didn't see it lately, in my way of kind of expressing that I'm hurt and sadness. I think the thing is that I was so, for the longest time, just desperate for someone to know that I'm hurting, that to where I just lashed out and became angry and hoped that if someone sees how angry I am and they see how much emotion I'm expressing, then they'll be like, okay, I understand. I'm sorry all that happened to you. I'm sad. But that was kind of not the right move, because it comes off. I didn't realize how it came across to other people. To me, it was like, if I do this, maybe they'll finally care. Maybe they'll see how much I'm hurting. But to them, it comes across as, this dude's just like pissed at me and shit, But I also think this should double as a lesson. And if you see anyone, just any other person in this world, all right, and they're really angry or they're under stress of a lot of emotion, we tend as people to just judge people's emotions, judge, oh, that person's angry, fuck them, that person, that, but we never question what maybe they went through that made them think that way. So have some compassion, for the people around you. If maybe a friend's in a bad mood or whatever, just know, chances are they're feeling that for a reason. It's really a rare case where someone's just being a dick to be a dick. It's pretty much always, there's some reason behind it. So, have compassion. You never know what someone's going through. But that essentially is just the premise of this video. I just want to say, if you're a lone wolf, just second guess if you're maybe cutting people out, if you're, butchering, potential future connections and stuff, because maybe you had some past experiences that made you lose trust in people, that made you lose trust in the world, because I promise you, there are people that do care. I came from a far off the deep end of that mentality, and sometimes you gotta feel through that whole mentality to get to the point of realizing, like, hey, that's not good for me. It just reached a breaking point where I was just angry and I really lashed out, but I lashed out so much to the point where I finally realized that this isn't working, and I have to just say, like, hey, when I'm hurting, to try to be more clear with it and be like, hey, I need you, I need a hug, I need someone, instead of just being pissed. Essentially, that's it for you lone wolves out there. All right, I'm one of you. I'm an only child, so it's kind of like in my blood. It's like I've always been that way. But I just want you to know that there's a healthy way. There's a difference between lonely, and being alone. You don't gotta be lonely, but you can be alone and happy. Just know that. But also know that there's a healthy way, to be alone, and that you don't have to cut people out. You can be connected with the external, but still, feel alone, and be fulfilled, be self-fulfilling, be fulfilled in your own soul, however you want to word it. But yeah, that's essentially just what I wanted to talk about. Different format than I was thinking, man, I'm always recording in my basement, all the time. And it's not like I never leave my basement. It's just everywhere else I think of recording, I'm just like, this would be kind of boring or something. But I don't know. I thought this would be a cool little background. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. I wish you guys the best in your journey of life. But yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.